Hey guys, so I was thinking, I was at the card shop over the weekend, and it's always funny. You see guys, their hair start to thin a little bit, kind of like mine, thinning, and they got some gray hairs, and they're in their mid to late 30s. They started playing in college, whatever, or a little bit before that. Maybe almost 20 years ago, 18 years ago, whatever, when the game first came out. And they still love the game, but now they got a mortgage, and the one guy he had his kid with him, and he's like, Dub, game's fun and all, but like constantly keeping up with everything and getting new cards, and then I'm worried about X reprint and Y reprint, and then the next deck I really want to get into the next deck, and that got me thinking. So like for like guys like us, ladies like us even, people been playing, you've got like all these priorities, all these responsibilities. What's really valuable? First and foremost, a hobby's going to cost you money no matter what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, whether you like to paint, you got to buy the supplies. You got to buy the canvases. Even if you're doing digital artwork, you got to keep up with the software. You're investing time and money. In my opinion, nothing has more value than time. Time has more value than everything. Another way to put it. But you're spending something, and then what you spend, you shouldn't necessarily expect to recoup. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you spend, let that translate into the time enjoying, the hobby. So with that said, to get the maximum bang for your buck, and maybe this is specifically for players who've been playing for a while, like myself and others. But like, take a look at what you have, your collection. And I know I've said this before about moving on to kind of like a minimalist type mindset, where I'm like slowly getting rid of like all the stuff I have, and just not be so bogged down by so much garbage. And so like, do that with your collection. So, for instance, staples. Now everybody talks about staples. Dub, what are staples? You've been playing the game long enough, Cards that are in every deck list. I'm talking about ash blossoms. Talking about lancias. Like this, like hand traps that are always going to be used. That are like whenever the meta gets like really competitive, they're in. I'm talking about ash blossoms, lancias, paper tops. Um, what are some other staples? Just like, what I mean. Like back in the day, it was Heavy Storm, MST, Monster Reborn, Torrential Tribute. I don't know exactly know the equivalent right now, because the decks are just so robust now, so to speak. But there's mainly the hand traps, extra deck monsters that are that are always going to be useful. I'm talking about like the nightmare monsters, Appaloosa, Phantasme, sort of a hand trap. Those kind of things. Now, basically, like especially like Ash Blossom, they have high rarities, and you might be super proud of your first edition Ash Blossoms. You pulled them fresh in the pack, and you might be super proud, of your first edition access code talker, all that. But let me ask you, if you're really concerned about the value you have in, downgrade. Cash out your current value and downgrade. Downgrade from your secret rare ash blossoms down to commons and keep that value. And then I don't know, once you've depleted your collection down enough. I mean, I know people, including myself, I'm still kind of guilty of it. This is what I'm trying to change. I still have stuff like a play set of like the what is it called, the mystical jackal knight. It's like that level 7 light monster. Why do I have a play set of that? I don't know. I have like command knights, and I got I got like so much stuff. There's no reason to have that stuff. Okay, now there's one thing to be said for like your collection, but a lot of times we just have like just stuff. And he's like, oh, well, it has nostalgic value. No, you don't. You want like to be able to just to flex a little bit, and it's just like get over that. Okay. Now, if you have stuff like your first edition Ghost Rare Stardust, your Black Rose Dragon, maybe you got some first ed Ulti Hero Fusions. Okay, that's collection worthy stuff, and you put that to a side, and you maybe go get it graded or keep it in a binder and never touch it. That's one thing. But the other stuff is just stuff that's going to keep being reprinted. They're never going to reprint first edition Ghost Rare Stardust Dragon. You understand what I'm saying? That's never going to be reprinted. That's special. Secret Rare first edition Ash Blossom. That's really cool. But it's played now, and the common does exactly what the secret does. I promise you. So just cash that value out. And then all your other cards, don't be afraid to cash it out. Sure, it's not gonna look sexy, when they do the deck profiles and everything's high rare. They got the play set of Starlight Rares, and they flip out the cards for I got 3 Starlight Ecclesias and plup, 3 Starlight blah blah blah. Cool. You look at those guys. Oh, that's cool. How many square feet is your house? That's the real flex. You say what. My son sleeps really good at night because I take care of all of his needs. That's the real flex. And I'm sounding like a dad. I am WK dad. But just like evaluate what's important. Yes, the hobbies are important. No one will ever be able to convince me otherwise. But you can enjoy the hobby without, you can enjoy the hobby and still be intelligent about your investitures. Downgrade. Be cautious of the decks you play. Like I'm at the point where I know kind of like exactly the types of decks I want. And so when a real new archetype comes out, like, oh, that's cool. But I know deep down I'm never going to play it. Like I like dragons. You guys know that from way back in the day. Heretics and everything, every other thing. Dragon rulers. I like dragons. I'm not playing Dragon Link. Deck's cool. Really cool. But I'm not going to play that deck. And so I'm not going to go get chambermaids. I'm just not. I'm not. Now, they might be reprinted one day, and I might consider picking it up then. But then I have to look at myself. I'm like, I'm still not going to play the deck just because it's cheaper doesn't mean I'm going to play it. Now, conversely, when it comes to value, when you're trading, it doesn't hurt to trade for those cards. And a big tip, a big secret, a really good strategy is when you trade for those cards, try to trade for core pieces, for deck cores. And you can bundle it together and then you can just resell it and get that value. And I think that's super helpful. I think that will really put your mind at ease. Sometimes it's more fun just to try to see how many deck cores you can get together without spending money, trading off the cards that you don't need to be holding on to, that that you're just holding on to because. Put together cores that you can move, get rid of them, and then slowly piece out garbage cards in your collection, stuff you don't need. I'm talking like old play mats that you're never going to use. Sure, you got the nostalgia. Just take a couple pictures, holding them up. Oh yeah, maybe write the date when you got it or when you won it, and then get rid of it. Just get rid of that stuff. You'll be more at ease. When it's time to go to the car shop, you're not lugging 4 or 5 bags full of stuff. All right. I hope you guys understood that. I hope that made sense. It just really got me thinking when I was having the conversation with that gentleman. And yeah, it's WK and I'm out.